Welcome to Adjust Social Media's LinkedIn workshop. In this webinar, we'll be covering how to optimize your LinkedIn profile and tips on using LinkedIn. The second webinar will cover more of LinkedIn strategies and email for social selling. In this webinar agenda, we'll look at the basic and the premium accounts, the differences. We'll look at optimizing your profile practically. I'll run through searches with you, so how you can expand your connections. We'll look at LinkedIn Inbox, LinkedIn Jobs, Groups, Pulse and News. We'll also look at LinkedIn email tools and how you can use LinkedIn on your mobile on the go. You can also export contact lists from LinkedIn, all your connections that you've made, and also setting up your email signature so that you have a LinkedIn button at the end of your email signature. To finish off, I'll also share with you our LinkedIn cheat sheet so that you can get to grips with LinkedIn very quickly. I'd advise you to open the webinar into one browser and a second browser to open up your LinkedIn. There are more than 187 million LinkedIn users worldwide. Not surprisingly, the most of them are in the UK and in the United States. There are over 10.7 million users in the UK. It's a great way to build up your professional capital network and also to find a job, find your next co-founder, find your next person to join your company. LinkedIn is more than just an online CV. It gives you access to thousands of business opportunities. There are more than 2.6 million companies out there online and 187 million members. Who could be your next prospect? Who could be your next connection? To get you started, you need to have a great profile that is searchable and fully optimized so people can actually find you and you stand out from the crowd. You can also showcase a portfolio of your work through images, URLs, PDFs and videos. What you will need to create your LinkedIn profile is to put in your first name, your last name, your email address and a password that is memorable. You will also need a 200 megapixel by 200 megapixel portrait picture of yourself. Yes, no cat pictures, children pictures or logos as profile pictures. You also need your current CV or use it as a way of putting text into your profile. And any profile work that you have, images, PDFs, videos or documentations that you want to add as well. If you already have a LinkedIn profile, all you need to do is enter your email and your password in. And it'll bring you to the home page. Here you can see your search bar. We'll go through a little bit this in a moment, but for searching for people, jobs, companies, groups, either people from your university and posts. And your email inboxes can also be reached from here and also through here. What you'll need to do is go into your LinkedIn settings and turn off your broadcast history so that people don't see you notifications of you updating your profile until it's complete. We'll just go and do that now. So on your home page, you'll have an image of your profile onto the right hand side. What you'll need to do is look at privacy and settings. Click onto privacy and settings. And underneath your profile, you can turn off your broadcast history. And you can change it again anytime you want to afterwards. just unselect, and that won't allow you to show any of your broadcast history. Save changes. Take a few minutes to make sure that you have a professional profile picture. What you'll need to do is to edit the settings, which I'll show you in a moment. But in your headline, you need to have some good main keywords, how you want to be discovered, and include them in your headline. There is 3 ways that you can actually navigate to your profile. You can either navigate through this part here, or through your profile here, or even on the picture here. Once you've navigated there, you can click onto the edit settings, and this will allow you to edit the settings. You can upload your pictures through here, and then add any relevant keywords here that you want people to search you by. If you edit your contact details, you can do this here. You can add in your email address, your work or your personal email address, and your contact telephone number. You can also add in your Twitter and your website. You can add up to 3 different website URLs. You can choose to make them your personal website, your company website, your blog, or any portfolio work that you have. Once you're done, you can click Save. Your profile picture is very, very important. It's creating a first impression. I've seen some very bad profile pictures in my lifetime. A lot of people using either animals or even their logo, because when people search for you, they want to see the person behind the LinkedIn connection. So it's good to have a headshot, either grey or in colour, preferably a smiley picture of you. As I mentioned already, you can also edit your contact details so you can get approached easily, and you can add up to 3 website URLs. In your executive summary, it's a bit like your personal statement. What you'll need to do is needs to be concise, preferably in first person. It summarises your experience, your achievements, and who you are professionally. You can also add your experiences, your current and your previous experience, and order them in date order. You need to also add in your kind of key responsibilities, what you did in that particular role. If you are a member of any organisations, you can also add this. You can also add in your education, any university, colleges that you've been through. It also will update you any alumni that are available through LinkedIn. You can add in your volunteer experiences, any skills and expertise that make you stand out from the crowd, and I'll show you how to add your skills and expertise. When you scroll below, if you click the edit button, you can edit your summary here. Once you're happy with the text, you can actually press save. You can also upload images or add links to your website through this. You can add in any content that you've actually produced, and it'll upload onto your profile. When I mentioned that you can actually change it, so if you want to move the summary down below, you can, but it's very good for you to keep them in date order. So you should leave your summary to the top and all the jobs that you've had most frequently to the top. How you add a position is you click on position. You can type in the company name, and you can type in your job title. You can type in the location. You can choose the period whereby you started working at that company. You can also create a description of your roles and responsibilities and the services you provide at that particular company. And when you're happy, you can just press save. It's also good practice for you to do this with all the companies that you've worked with, listing your responsibilities and your job title when you were at the particular company, uploading any profiles or any documentation of your work, also your recommendations from clients or people you worked with. The organisations you might belong to or governing bodies, you might want to add those into here. Any languages that you speak as well, you can add them into your here. The skills is very important. What you can do is write out predefined skills that you may have, and then you'll have to get your connections or people that you work with to endorse you. There is currently no way to put which skills to the top. It's ranked by how many people endorse you. Here you can add your education or edit your education. And this would also be in relevance of time, the most recent to the top. You can add additional information. I always think that it's great to put your personal interests and also your professional interests here so people can start a conversation. Oh, I saw your profile. I noticed that you're also into scuba diving. You also will need to add your personal details. So if you want to add in your date of birth or marital status, you can do so here. Now you all know how old I am. You can also edit contact details here. So if you're only interested in people contacting you for business opportunities or for networking, you can include the details here. And you can tell them how to get in touch. Or you can even put your telephone number if you wish. You can also add in any honours or awards that you've achieved. And once you have completed that section, we'll look at recommendations. Once you've done that, you can actually press done. Recommendations are like referrals, testimonials, and references. So it's good to try and ask your manager or people you've worked with, your classmate, anybody who's actually worked with you to give you a recommendation based upon the project you've worked with them or the company that you used to work at. You can access the recommendations from your privacy settings, and I'll show you how to do that. Don't forget, you can always access your privacy account details from the right hand side up here. It might ask you to sign in again, which you can just do like that. So what you'll do is you'll have to go to your recommendations, which is over here. Manage your recommendations. Click on that. And you can ask for recommendations here. You can send an email to the relevant people to recommend you for previous jobs that you've done. You type in the name of people that you want to actually give you a recommendation. And you can choose the relationship that you have with that person. And it's always great for you to write a personalised message so that you would actually get more recommendations. Once you've done that, then you can actually send them a request, and then they will respond and write you a recommendation. Also, in your account settings, you can make your public profile open to public. So what you would do is go into the privacy settings, and you'll look at how visible is your public profile. If it is already ticked here, then nobody can view your profile online unless they know you. But if you click here, it's always good to open up your public profile so that you never know who's going to find you or search for you to offer you the next best job in the world or the next best opportunity. You can also create a custom URL that's relevant to your name. A lot of people have URLs which have numbers in it. It's better to have just your first name, your surname, and then the type of role you do. So you can change it here. Just like in Google, you can have a search bar to search for people's first name, surname, the company, or even a keyword about that particular person's profile, and it'll filter it for you. There is a search bar and also an advanced setting, which I'll cover for you now. So you can search for people directly. You can actually type in the person's name, and it'll populate everybody with that particular name. If it's second connections, then it's somebody that you're not connected with that you could be connecting to. And the gold badge here is the premium account. What you can do is you only want to find people that you don't know at all, or people through group members. You can also say, I only want to find people at my doorstep or in my current location, which is the UK. And then you could select the particular company that you want to find out. So if you thought that the person you want to contact works at the NHS, and it'll only feature people with the name John Smith who works in that particular company in London, who are group members of yours and third connections that you don't know. These are the advanced search settings. If you have a premium account, you can also find people through premium functions. You will need to have LinkedIn Sales Solution or HR Solutions to be able to access the premium functions. A clever function that LinkedIn has is who's viewed my profile, and also the inbox. Once you check out who's viewed your profile, it might be people who you want to connect to as well, or people who are going to be potentially offering you business opportunities. You also want to know how you've been searched for in the last 90 days. Let's go and have a look at that. If you go to your home page and then you scroll down to who's viewed my profile, who's viewed your profile, you can look at numbers. You have to have the LinkedIn Premium account to be able to see who's actually viewed your profile. The basic account doesn't cover this. So you can check out who's viewed your profile over a 90-day period and which ones you need to take action with. You don't have to add everybody who searches for you on LinkedIn. It's only people who are relevant in your industry and you want to connect to. It's always great to see how did people find you. A lot of people found me through the LinkedIn inbox. So whether I sent an email communication to them to ask them to join me through my LinkedIn profile account. People found me through searching on me on their mobile phone. They're using LinkedIn searches for keywords, or they're looking at the homepage and they find my messages on the homepage. And I've been found because there are 34 people who are similar to me and what I do. You can also look at the industry, what type of industry is following you, and what location. It's interesting to see that Microsoft and Criteria are looking at me simply because I work in digital marketing and I work with tech companies to help them develop their tech projects. So it's not surprising. The location, it's predominantly 53 of them are looking at me from London and 3 from Twickenham, where I'm based. And you can look at kind of the job titles that people are searching. So I can get a roundup of who's actually looking at my profile. It tends to be people with who are advertising specialists, predominantly because I do social media advertising. So that's quite interesting to know that they're searching for social advertiser. They're searching, those people are also marketing specialists themselves, or they're also internet social media specialists. They're either co-founders or startup companies looking to increase their social media marketing activity. They're also salespeople. Maybe they want to sell me tools which can help me with social media advertising. And others, it's very specific in these kind of areas. Also, you can view the industry as well. When you scroll down to the bottom, and you can see that people who are advertising specialists are looking at me, I can either actually want to connect with them or see how many connections I have similar to them. So this particular person, I have 7 connections which are similar to me. And if it says second, then that person I've never connected to before. So I can go ahead and connect with him. LinkedIn also has a separate inbox which you can navigate from here. Here you can see messages people have sent to me and messages I've sent to other people. And also you can start conversations with your connections who have changed their job or got a job promotion. It's just like a normal inbox. You can start a new message. What's clever is instead of typing in an email, you can just type in the connection's name. And then you can enter it in the subject and type your message and then send it to them. LinkedIn emails is different to InMails. You can only send emails to people that you know. If you have a premium account, you can send InMails to people who you've never connected to before and you want to contact them for a business opportunity. You can also find jobs on LinkedIn. It's predominantly used to be known as the place to go to look for jobs. You can either search in the top bar or either inside the jobs section. And you can use advanced settings as well to search for jobs which are in relevant location and job titles that you're interested in. You can also receive email alerts when there are particular jobs which are interesting to you. There's two ways that you can actually look for jobs. You can select the tab here, which goes directly to the jobs. Or you can actually change the bar above, type in jobs. Say if I was looking for a social media marketing job, I would type in the job title that I'm looking for. And it'll populate the most recent and available jobs out there. If you click on the Jobs tab, it will lead you to this page. Here you can write keywords or the company name that you want to work for. So if you wanted a job at Centrica, here are all the jobs that are available at Centrica. And if I want to funnel it down to the title, I don't want to, I want it to be in engineer. The location I'm willing to locate to is anywhere, or you can actually suggest locations near a particular place. So I only want to be in the UK, or if I want to be in UEA. Or you can type in the postcode. So it'll just show me now jobs at Centrica with the title engineering. And it shows that I have two second connections, so a connection of a connection that works there. So if I click on that person's profile, there might be the hiring manager or the person who works directly with that project. I might want to connect with them or contact them about the opportunity. If you click back onto the job tab, you can either, if you're hiring, you can post a job out there. If you want to save jobs and apply for them later, you can search for them here. You can also see the job roles that are actually recommended for you. You can also discover jobs through your networks. LinkedIn groups. You can join as many as 50 groups of your shared people with your shared interests that describes your professional interests. I'll show you now how to find relevant groups to you. In the search bar, you can also look at groups and type in your particular group that you are interested in. So I'm very interested in digital marketing. This is a group I already belong to. It's owned by Digital Donut. It's inside the group you can actually see the types of members. So I'll show you what belongs inside a group in a moment. But here you can actually see how many of the first connections, which groups they belong to. Also, you can specify by language and category. Once you go into the group itself, you can look at the statistics of the group and whether you should join. So if we go to information and look at group statistics, so you can actually see here there's 605,856 members, their seniority level, and what functions they actually work in. And I can stay on top of digital marketing trends through this group. Let's look at the demographics. You can also look at the location of this group. Greater New York City, London, perfect, it's in my domain. You can also look how the group has grown over time. And you can also look at how active the group is as well. So in the last week there are 308 discussions, which is quite active. And there were 89 job postings there and 84 promotional posts. And of those 308 discussions, 160 of those were actually commented on. This little button here, you can copy and paste the URL, and you can actually send it to your colleague who you think they should share. They should actually add to their networks. You can also share on LinkedIn and also through Twitter. Let's have a look at the discussions. They're promoting an event that they're having soon. They're talking about 9 social media mistakes that you should not make. And here are the comments that are relevant to people. To blog or not to blog? Really? You need to ask? I think blogging is very important, and with 14 comments, a lot of people find that blogging is the key way to drive Google algorithms and also to drive traffic to your website. You can also look at the kind of promotions that are offered to digital marketers through this group. You can also look at the jobs which are available, which have been posted into this group. There was an error. I'm not sure why there was an error in the jobs tab, but we're back onto the group. You can also, inside this group, search for members based on keywords or names, or you can have a filter who actually also belongs to this group. So your first connections are people who you're already connected with and they're inside this group. Then you can look at maybe the second and third connections. I'm still connected to them. If you have a basic account, you can only view up to 15 tabs, but if you have a business account or a premium account, you can actually view up to 25 or more. So let's have a look. Okay. So this is Per Peterson. He's a CEO of Impact Radius in Luzon, California. Maybe I want to connect with him. Let's have a look at his profile before I want to connect with him. You can connect directly here or look at the profile. You can see their activity inside the group as well, or even send a message to them. in my second webinar on LinkedIn strategy, I will actually cover how to optimize usage of LinkedIn groups. But for now, let's go back to looking at the LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn Pulse is LinkedIn's blogging site. So people can actually post their own blogs inside LinkedIn. You can use the same content that you have from your website and you can post it back into here, back in there. And you can get people to either comment or share your posts through LinkedIn too. I'll quickly show you that. So if you go up to here and you can do posts. You can search for relevant posts. This is a post that someone has written. And you can either like it, comment on it, and this post has actually had 4,895 views. This principal designer works at LinkedIn, and I think his content is really great. So what I can do is either share it or I can follow him. And you can also see other posts that he's written as well. If you want to write your own blog onto LinkedIn, you can do this from here, or you can also do it from your status update, which I'll show you now. If you go back to your home tab, from here, you can actually write your post from here. You share it publicly, or you share it on Twitter as well, or just share it to the connections that you have. You can also access Pulse from here on your interests and look at Pulse. You can see all the kind of latest news, top posts, and discover new things as well. So if I wanted to look at the top posts, these are the most popular posts that are most active on LinkedIn. And you can follow relevant people and read content which is around your key business. You can follow all LinkedIn news from the Pulse section, and you can also follow companies. In this area you need to find who companies which you want to follow, which are your customers or your potential partners, companies that you want to do business with in the future. So you can either search for companies here, or you can search for companies here. And you can look for companies. So you want to find the Coca-Cola company. Before a meeting, you could always research the company on LinkedIn. I'll give you an overview of the company's mission and also a little bit more information about their updates, what they're up to, any projects that they've been doing. And if I wanted to check out the person I'm going to be meeting before the meeting, I could also click See All. And now I can look at all the members who work at Coca-Cola Enterprise. I'm meeting them in France. And I haven't connected with them, so they'll be my second connection. And there we are. I can connect with somebody before I even meet them online. If you're at a conference, at a networking event, or on the go, it's great to download the LinkedIn mobile app. It's completely free. It allows you to search your inbox It allows you to search for people, read updates on the go. It's always good to bridge the gap between offline and online world. So here are some LinkedIn tools that I regularly use to allow it easier for me to network with the right people. Reportative is a way that you can find people easily on social networks through just their email address. So what I would do is, if I put in somebody's email address, I can actually see their profile on the right hand side. And also I use Sidekick, which allows me to see when somebody's opened my emails. So if I've sent in a LinkedIn request and they've not replied back to me, but they've actually opened my email, then that's a great time to actually call them. It allows you to see when they've opened it and how many times they've opened it, and it's live. So get your Sidekick from sidekick.com. Once you've added enough connections, you can actually export the contacts. They say that there's 6 degrees of separation. However, I think that using LinkedIn there's only a 3rd degree of separation. So let me show you now how to navigate and export your LinkedIn connections so you can send an email campaign to them. If you go into Interests, you can navigate easily companies, groups, pulse and education, people who might even belong to your previous university or college. If you go into connections and you want to keep in touch with people, this is where you'll find how to export your contacts. You click on the settings button and it says that I have 905 contacts. What I need to do is to click this button here and it will allow me to export into CSV. Once I've exported into CSV, I can upload MailChimp or an email browser and send away. This is also a great way to import other contacts you might have on your email database and see whether you can find them on LinkedIn. Before a meeting or after a proposal, I always add people on LinkedIn so they can actually remember the face behind the voice. If you work in sales or business development and you're the face of a company, it's always great for you to put in a LinkedIn button inside your email signature, and this can be located in the privacy and account settings, and you go to the public profile and you can search for a customize button. So you could go to privacy and settings, and then you can when you scroll down you can create your public profile badge, and here you'll find the URL that you need to embed inside your email. If you want to upgrade your account, you can always click here. And there are different packages. So you can either purchase the business package, recruiter, corporate recruiter, or a sales solution. And here you'll find the different features that are offered. You can have a look at the different types of emails you can send and the type of data insights you can have. You can also set up automatic lead generation by getting notifications when people who match your criteria are sent into your inbox. You can get real-time updates as well. There are many different functions, but if you want to explore it, you just press the upgrade button and then you can see all the options there. Thank you for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at Daoism24. This is also my public profile URL for LinkedIn. You can tweet any questions you have to @adjustsocial or send us an email info@adjustsocial.com. This is a gift from me to you. If you scroll down below to on the webinar training, you can actually download some free documents. You can download the LinkedIn cheat sheet for free, and also if you're interested in how to understand social media in a bigger landscape, you can download the social media cheat sheet too. We also hope that you have enjoyed this webinar, and if you have any feedback, we relish to listen to that. If you don't have time to do your LinkedIn makeover, if you put in your LinkedIn profile URL and your email and contact telephone number, and we can actually send you instructions of how we can optimize your LinkedIn profile for you. You also might be interested to know that we're running a LinkedIn strategy workshop, understanding how to create lead generation through social media and social selling, and focusing on LinkedIn email campaigns. That's it for now. Thank you for listening.